Pleasant welcome to NTV News Live. I'm Edward Tama, anchoring this edition of the news program, and the top stories we're following. President George Manawiya unveils DNA tests to enhance the fight against sexual gender-based violence in Liberia. Chief Justice Francis Kwokwo breaks silence on his pending retirement, says he will leave the Supreme Court when he reaches the age limit. National Elections Commission finally certificates James Barney of Maryland County and Nimine Batikwa of Grand Cru County. And as well in Africa, a judge in Senegal charges opposition leader Ousmane Sonko with rape, but later releases him on bail following days of deadly protests in that country. We got all those developments ahead for this break. To be right back, stay with us. Welcome back to the show. President George Manawiya has once again merged his words with action by purchasing a DNA machine to boost the fight against sexual gender-based violence in Liberia. Well, during the celebrations of the International Women's Day at the Ministerial Complex in Congo Town Monday, President Weah fulfilled that promise by unveiling and dedicating the machine and made these remarks.
Honor the leadership of our Minister of Health, the Minister of Gender, Children and Social Protection, both females, together with other key cabinet ministers. Meetings were held last year to find a more robust and effective way of tackling this menace. As you may recall, I then established an anti-sexual and gender-based violence task force and hosted a conference on sexual and gender-based violence aimed at highlighting the national roadmap on rape and other forms of sexual and gender-based violence. The work of the task force led to the development of the government of Liberia and partners Anti-Sexual Gender-Based Violence Roadmap 2020-2022. The roadmap was subsequently endorsed by the Cabinet, and implementation is currently ongoing. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it was determined that one of the measures to tackle the scourge of rape or the acquisition of a DNA testing machine. This was because the lack of a definite way to establish proof of the crime of rape allowed the lack of perpetrators to go free. Hence, honor my declaration of rape as a national emergency. The Minister of Finance was mandated to provide funding for the immediate purchase of a DNA machine.
Meanwhile, President George Manawiya has committed his government to the protection and empowerment of women and girls in Liberia.
Honor the leadership of our Minister of Health, the Minister of Gender, Children and Social Protection, both females, together with other key cabinet ministers. Meetings were held last year to find a more robust and effective way of tackling this menace. As the government, we acknowledge that women continue to need empowerment and that we have a responsibility to institute and implement all measures, policies that will promote such empowerment and at the same time ensure the safety of our women, girls, and children who are mostly marginalized. As Premier-in-Chief of Liberia, I will continue to exert our efforts to directly address the challenges faced by women of Liberia. As A.D. Anderson, the Australian activist, has said, and I quote, "Feminism isn't about making women stronger. Women are already strong. It is about changing the way the world perceives that strength." Unquote. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, in a time of pandemic in any given society, women and children who are more vulnerable tend to face multiple crises. And Liberia is no exception. In the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic, women and girls in Liberia experienced unprecedented increase in violence, ranging from sexual violence, domestic violence, and other harmful practices.
While still at the International Women's Day celebration Monday, Liberian women have voiced out calls for equal opportunity and gender equity in the country, while the National Civil Society Council chairperson Loretta Pope-Kai called on the National Elections Commission to adequately resolve the Bapulu County electoral dispute involving a woman.
We call on the National Election Commission to provide information to the public. There's a lot of silence on why is the delay in certificating voter count. The delay is infringing on her rights, and we must hear from the National Election Commission. If we must choose the challenge, women must be represented. We had 20 women who were eligible out of the 118 candidates. And up to now, we only have one woman who has been certificated by the National Election Commission. Next, we need to hear from you. We call on the government, through the Ministry of Justice, Internal Affairs, to separate our sacred tradition from political processes. We witnessed that in Bapulu, where you had a country devil coming outside to instill fear into our women. We use this manner to condemn that act, and we say stay away from political processes. We need a level, unrestricted and secure political environment must be created and sustained for all Liberians.
For her part, the chairperson of the Female Legislative Caucus, Representative Rosanna Shark, pledged to ensure laws that protect women empowerment.
We pledge to lobby with our male counterparts to make laws and review existing laws that create an enabling environment for equal opportunity for women to participate and to compete for leadership positions at all levels, especially in the legislature. Our second pledge is we pledge to challenge that we promote women's economic empowerment across Liberia, leaving no one behind. I want to thank our President Dr. George Manneh Weah, for placing women's economic empowerment on the priority list with the sum of $2 million for enhancing the strength of our market women across Liberia.
An organization for women empowerment has been launched to cater to widows, single mothers, and adolescent girls and create opportunities for females to follow their dreams. The executive director, Aretha Topa, gave an overview of the organization, followed by the launch by Jethro Kovayan Yanle in Pinsville.
It was this little girl who grew up with her aunt, and this aunt was a widow and had 7 children. And so this girl joined the 7 children. They had to fetch food for themselves by selling green fruits. So every time they had to go and pick up green fruit, put it together, keep it till it get ripe before they go and sell and eat. And so growing up in such a home inspired her so greatly. To say that widows have been left aside in the world, not just even in Liberia. So she thought it wise to establish an organization that would cater to widows, single mothers, and underserved adolescent girls.
Meanwhile, Mossoraro County Representative C.B. Bashir has challenged women to shoot for higher heights in pursuit of women empowerment.
I saw your bulletin saying you're going to rock the capital. I like that, and I very much love it. I want to rock the capital in this way. Now at the capital, Manjua is also president of the Senate. Good. She's at one position. But at the position of the legislator, we have one speaker who, of course, if you want to go and rock the capital, go for the speaker position, go for the ways and means position, go for rules and order position. Don't go to the capital and only sit on the seat, because at the capital, if you went there for the speaker, you'll be the first female speaker in our country. And when you are a
For her part, the founder and 2 beneficiaries stress the importance of the organization for women empowerment.
And I'm looking for a job. Meanwhile, I want to empower people. And we go to these selfish men. Yes. You just one out of million. And this man look me in the face and say, you're wasting your time. Drop this idea, let me get you a job in the bank. If I had taken that job 7 years ago, you would not be here today. Yes. But how many of us have the guts to say not about me? Yeah. How many of us have that heart to say my life will not be about paycheck? I told him I will not live from paycheck to paycheck. I will make a difference. You will stay alive to see it come true.
If we have more than 3 organizations of this organization, Liberia women will be someone that will do something for themselves. They were able to know me, and right now I can boast. I'm also doing some in my community.
If you're just coming out where you're watching LNTV News Live, coming to you from Painesville, outside of the nation's capital, Monrovia. My name is Edward Tamba, anchoring this edition of the news program. And the top stories will follow when President George Manawia unveils DNA machine to help in the fight against sexual gender-based violence. Chief Justice Francis Kwokwo breaks silence on his pending retirement, saying he will leave the Supreme Court if he reaches the age limit. National Elections Commission finally certificates James Bani and Numine Batikwa as senators of Maryland and Grand Crew counties, respectively. And of the home front, a judge in Senegal charges opposition leader Usman Sonko with rape, but releases him on bail following deadly protests in that country. These developments are still packaged, plus more. After this break, we'll be back. Welcome back to the program. Graduates of the Liberia Institute of Public Administration, LIPA, have been admonished to cultivate the culture of discipline and self-esteem and as well show respect for co-workers. LBS Director General Esther Lebote Camon made the admonition over the weekend when she delivered the keynote address at LIPA's first cycle training program graduation ceremony held at the Ministerial Complex in Congo Town.
Graduates, leaving here, you will never be the same again. As you are now better informed and prepared to handle delicate and complex matters, you may confront your respective areas of specialization for better outcome and avoiding conflict, tension, missteps, and success in the performance of your assigned tasks. Even as we pursue these high-level professional training exercises, it is imperative that the code of ethics and discipline in the workplace are fully adhered. The chain of command, compliance, effective communication, and timeliness are all essential features that must be upheld for institutional growth. Acquiring all the knowledge is just a small part of your professional sojourn. You must march with a culture of discipline and self-esteem while showing respect for co-workers and similarity in the workplace. Failing to do so could just undermine your growth and elevation in the working environment. Your mission now going forward is to go back to your respective institutions to help effectively align your newly acquired knowledge with the set objectives and programs of your institutions for advancement.
Meanwhile, the Director General of LIPA, Alex Yonley, paid tribute to government and partners, including management staff at LIPA, for the support given to the institution.
Today makes us very proud for the fact it becomes a significant milestone in your journey towards career development. Our goal is to provide the tools and environment that yields positive results where you begin to make significant contributions in society. I urge you to use knowledge acquired to accelerate growth and development and not to divide and destroy. Our nation needs expertise and citizens of sound judgment. We need people that are willing to work on a diverse condition. Productivity is key. We need men and women that will stand out more for unity, peace, stability, and the right atmosphere to increase investment, job opportunity, and that of mankind.
Nima County District Number 5 Representative Samuel Koga wants government to properly coordinate its information dissemination to the people to enhance citizens' understanding of government's policies and programs. He was speaking Sunday at the Thanksgiving event in Konola, Magibi County.
We, the opposition, are not personally against the president. But the president needs to incorporate opposition in the government. Yes, there are other oppositions in the government, but the number and the strength that we expected is not yet met. Those who yearn to become president in this country, their partisan inclusion in government will prove to the Liberian people whether they are capable or not. Whenever they sit on the fence, they will say a lot of things. But bring them on board. Their contribution will determine the future of the leadership. The president needs to coordinate the issue of dissemination of information. The information dissemination of this government is not coordinated. Superintendent has different things to say, minister has different things to say, president had everything to say, the minister of state had everything to say. But it should be coordinated in a fashion that every citizen of the nation will listen to one person. This is the reason why you have information minister.
Meanwhile, Minister of Foreign Affairs D. Maxwell Sakimaya said opposition politicians should now put forth ideas that will enhance the political and economic governance of the country instead of criticizing all the time.
When we look at the government, there are a number of things that are happening that been happening not even from the immediate past government, but even before. But government is continuously, we're not casting blame on the part of any. But Honorable Koga, even as we hear of your pending induction as paramount chief of the kingdom, of this household, you will only succeed if you encourage the members of the household to do constructive engagement even if there are issues. But if the members of the household decide to use the radio and decide to stay in public and say, Mr. Paramount Chief, you did, then they will be working to break in the household. So the way we met with our forefathers, if there are issues, especially when you're part of the house, you go, even if it is in the evening or what have you, you carry your issues to the leader.
Grand Bassa County District Number 3 Representative Matthew Joe is urging public officials to cultivate good morals and integrity in serving the people they represent. He made his remarks at the City Hall in Buchanan over the weekend.
Since the establishment of the local district office, several works have been executed by the office, either through the district coordinator or the district development council. Some of the work executed by the DDC are mentioned above. Along with the DDC have earmarked a project which is the first of its kind in our district, antecedents of history, and this project is a modern district office. The DDC submitted with acquaintances a modern district office project to Liberia Agency for Community Empowerment, LAKES. For Liberians expect a public servant to exhibit some qualities of good conduct, such as selflessness, objectivity, accountability, openness, transparency, honesty, discipline, etc. These new measures are expected of public servants intend to correct mistakes of the past which led us to 14 years of brutal civil conflict that destroyed the basic fabric of our country. Research has shown that one major quality of good conduct on the part of any public servant is openness, transparency. A public servant is expected to be as open as possible regarding all decisions or actions. This is a new paradigm shift in political leadership. With this new paradigm shift, there will be no space for rumors, mongers, dumb sale, misinformation, or disinformation.
At the same time, Representative Joe disclosed that his developmental initiatives will remain for the district even if he is not re-elected.
Since the establishment of the local district office, several works have been executed by the office, either through the district coordinator or the district development council. Some of the work executed by the DDC are mentioned above. Along with the DDC have earmarked a project which is the first of its kind in our district, antecedents of history, and this project is a modern district office. The DDC submitted with acquaintances a modern district of a project to Liberia Agency for Community Empowerment, LACE, for subsequent construction. This modern district office encompasses 4 offices, 2 barrooms, 1 lobby, and a conference hall. Let me clearly state that the district...
A visually impairment Amos Lawrence Rank is appealing to the public, NGO, and government officials to assist him seek medical attention out of Liberia. In an interview with the station Monday, Mr. Rank said he has met a couple of doctors who suggested that he seek treatment in other countries, preferably India, China, or Canada.
Like I said, I'm a fashion designer. One morning I was doing an assignment in my house because when I came by here I decided to attend the university. While doing my assignment, when I woke up I just saw a dew immediately on my right eye. That's where it started from. I went to SD Coco, they told me it was pressure. And then I've been buying the drugs and it still is not responding. I visited a series of hospitals. They named the various illness of the eye that can treat the eye. But whenever I apply the medicine, it don't work. And I've gone down, I've met church people. But the other eye surgeon that I saw, I did not even explain to them. They even told me this is what was treating me. And they explained just as what can happen to me in my head and in my eye. So I believe that I should really go overseas or travel to a French country to work on my eye.
So, where do you live and how can someone who wants to help reach you?
Well, I live at the GSA in Rock Hill, beyond a private school that I call Yakobo. And like I said, my name is Amos Rank, or Amos Fakwe Rank. And I have my contact. I can name it out.
Yeah.
I have my orange number, is 0770 67 6155 0770 67 6155. And my Lone Star is 0880 93 67.
The Duchess of Sussex had said she found life within the British royal family so difficult that at times she didn't want to be alive anymore. In a deeply personal TV interview, Meghan told Oprah Winfrey that she did not get help when she asked for it. We have a report compiled by CBS.
I just didn't want to be alive anymore. And that was a very clear and real and frightening, constant thought. And I remember how he just cradled me, and I went to the institution and I said that I needed to go somewhere to get help, and I was told that I couldn't, that it wouldn't be good for the institution. I share this because there's so many people who are afraid to voice that they need help. And I know personally how hard it is to not just voice it, but when you voice it, to be told no. But we had to go to this event, and I remember him saying, "I don't think you can go." And I said, "I can't be left alone."
Because you were afraid of what you might do to yourself?
And we went. And
I'm so sorry to hear that.
The couple also shared with Oprah that when they were expecting their son Archie, the palace brought up his title and security detail.
Those months when I was pregnant, all around this same time. So we have in tandem the conversation of he won't be given security, he's not going to be given a title. And also concerns and conversations about how dark his skin might be when he's born.
In another foreign development, a judge in Senegal has charged opposition leader Ousmane Sonko with rape and released him on bail after days of deadly protests sparked by his arrest last week. 46-year-old Mr. Sonko is accused of assaulting a woman who worked in a beauty salon. That's all we have time for this morning for LNTV News Live. Before we let go of a reminder of the top stories we told you, President George Weah unveils DNA machine to enhance the fight against sexual gender-based violence. Chief Justice Francis Korkpo breaks silence on his pending retirement, say he will leave the Supreme Court if he reaches the age limit. National Elections Commission, NEC, finally certificates James Bani and Numini Batikwa as senators of Maryland and Grand Creek counties, respectively, and a judge in Senegal charges an opposition figure for rape but later released him on bail following deadly protests in that country. Many thanks to all of you for watching LNTV News Live. Many thanks to all of our correspondents, reporters, editors, and switchers for making this edition a success. On behalf of the entire production team here at the Liberia National Television, my name is Edward Tama. Thanks for watching. Do have yourself a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Begin at TunesLiberia.com.
National Toiletries Incorporated, Liberia-owned and reliable toiletries company, specialize in advanced quality toiletries assorted products such as Kumba tissue, Kumba baby pampers, Kumba napkins, Kumba paper towel, and Kumba Chlora. At National Toiletries Incorporated, we also have Gulf LC and UP Cosmetic Products. We have the expertise and experience. We train professional Liberian men and women. We use modernized machines and equipment to produce international standard toiletries in Liberia. We also produce Kumba Belu Special Mineral Water, Mamusu Clear Gel, and Laundry Soap. National Toiletries Incorporated, Liberia-owned toiletries. We are located in Pinsville, Benner Farm. Call us on the following numbers: 0777 543 985, 0777 060079, 08